Stop. Before you listen to another word, look away from the screen for just a second. Look at the empty space in your room. Do you feel it? That static hum in the air? That heavy waiting for a signal that never arrives? You have spent your entire life using language to ask for answers. You have prayed, begged, spoken to the ceiling in the dark. But the silence isn't because you are being ignored. It is because you are using the wrong code. Imagine you are standing in front of a vault of blinding light. Inside is the monad consciousness, everything missing from your soul. You are screaming at the door, pounding on it with your logic, your theology, your human words. But the door doesn't open for words. It creates a compatibility error. It only opens for a specific frequency. And this is where the story you know ends. Hidden deep within the Pistis Sophia is a moment scholars are afraid to touch. Long after the resurrection, in a closed room, Jesus stopped speaking in riddles. He stopped acting as a teacher and started acting as a technician of the soul. He didn't give his inner circle a prayer. He gave them a coordinate, a specific, secret name of God that acts as a sonic key. Institutions didn't burn the Gnostic teachings because they were heresy. They burned them because this key actually works. They knew if you possessed the direct line to the source, you wouldn't need their temples or their permission. If you found this video, the algorithm didn't choose it. Your internal frequency matched the signal. You aren't here to learn history. You are here to remember the sound that breaks the simulation. To use the key, you must first understand the lock. For centuries, the architecture of control sold you a specific image of the divine. You were trained to imagine a king on a throne, a judge in the clouds, an external authority demanding you look upward and beg for scraps of mercy. This wasn't a mistake. It was a structural design. As long as you believe the source is outside of you, you remain a battery for the system, outputting energy in the form of worship and desperation. The Gnostic teachings reveal a terrifyingly beautiful truth: that God on the throne is a landlord. The true source, the monad consciousness, is not a being. It is a frequency. The silence before sound. The pure, undivided awareness before time folded in on itself. Here is the shift. You did not come from the monad like a product off a factory line, separate and distinct from its creator. You came from the monad the way a flame comes from a fire. You are not a creation. You are an extension. Divine spark activation begins when you realize the thing you are searching for is the thing doing the searching. But this knowledge carries a price you've paid your entire life. The ancient texts call you a pneumatic, the spirit carrier. You don't need a history book to prove it. The evidence is etched into your own timeline. Think back. Have you always felt a persistent isolation? Not because you were antisocial, but because the games everyone else played felt scripted? Like a movie where everyone knew their lines except you? You felt like a glitch in the Matrix. The system labeled this depression or anxiety to keep you medicated and asleep. But that alienation was your immune system working. It was your divine spark rejecting a reality never designed for you. You feel wrong here because you are a high-voltage frequency operating in a low-voltage world. You weren't meant to fit in. You were sent here to break the cage. But to break it, you must know who built it. The monad did not create this chaotic, suffering world. Something else did. If the monad is the original pure signal, then the world you see around you is the distortion. The texts call him the Demiurge, a craftsman who could not create life, only replicate it. He looked at the infinite light and, driven by envy, built a finite copy. A cage made of time, decay, and entropy. But a cage needs energy to run. And since the Demiurge cannot generate energy, he built a system to harvest it. This is where the Archon Matrix enters. They are not Physical beings hiding under your bed. They are much more efficient. They are frequency algorithms. They are psychic parasites operating in the unseen spectrum with only one food source: your emotional reaction to suffering. Every time you spiral into anxiety about the future, you are being harvested. Every time you replay a regret from 10 years ago, trapping yourself in shame, you are sending a direct current of energy to the Archons. Every time you feel that crushing weight of not being enough, that is not a fact. That is a dinner bell. Here is the terrifying trick they play. They make you believe their voice is your voice. Gnostics taught that most thoughts in your head are not generated by you. They are broadcast to you. That sudden spike of fear when everything is going well, that voice whispering that you are unlovable, that is an implant, a foreign signal designed to lower your vibrational frequency so you remain edible. Let's test this right now. We are going to cut their feed. Wherever you are, stop moving. The system wants you frantic, so stillness is rebellion. Close your eyes, take a sharp breath in. Visualize inhaling white static, all the noise, the worry, the voices. Hold it at the top, squeeze it. Now, exhale forcefully, blowing that static out like gray smoke. Do it again. Inhale the noise, hold, exhale the smoke. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the space behind your eyes clear up. That lightness you feel, that is your energy returning, because you stopped broadcasting it. You just starved an Archon. But they will come back. As long as you are in this body, the signal will try to reconnect. You cannot fight them with willpower alone. They are older than time. You need a weapon that operates on a frequency they cannot touch, cannot mimic, and cannot withstand. The Church tried to hide this weapon because it makes the priesthood obsolete. The Archons try to distract you from it because it makes them starve. It is the one thing the Demiurge cannot counterfeit. It is the acoustic signature of your true home. Why do your prayers feel like they hit a ceiling? You kneel, you clasp your hands, you pour your heart out, asking for help, for healing, for a sign, and often silence. The Church tells you it is because you lack faith. They tell you it is God's will. That is a lie. The silence is not a rejection. It is a compatibility error. The monad does not speak human language. Language is a construct of the Matrix, designed by the Demiurge to divide consciousness into little boxes called words. When you use human language to speak to the source, you are trying to download the ocean into a cup. It spills over. It fails to connect. But there is a deeper problem. Look at the posture of prayer. You are here, small and broken. God is there, distant and perfect. You are the beggar. He is the king. Do you see the trap? Every time you beg, you are broadcasting a vibrational frequency of separation. You are telling the universe, I do not have this. And because the universe is a mirror, it reflects that lack right back to you. The Archons love this. They feed on your desperate hope, because hope implies you are still waiting. Jesus, the Gnostic revealer, knew this architecture. He understood that to bypass the Archons, you cannot use their software. You cannot use words that carry the baggage of history and control. You need a sound that cuts through the static. He taught his inner circle that the monad consciousness does not respond to pleas. It responds to resonance. It is like a tuning fork. If you strike a tuning fork in a room full of silent guitars, the G string on every guitar will start to vibrate without being touched. That is how the portal opens, not by asking, but by tuning. The secret name of God isn't a name you call out to get attention. It is a frequency you embody to establish identity. The texts describe a sound that existed before the first human throat was formed, a sequence of vowels that acts as a sonic override code. It tells the Matrix, I am not a battery. I am the source experiencing itself. And when you make that shift, from beggar to bearer of the light, the Archons recoil, because they cannot harvest a being that knows it is the fire. So are you ready to stop asking and start resonating? Before I give you the sequence, there is a safety warning written in the margins of the books of Zhu. Many of you are hesitating right now. You are asking, is this safe? If I open a portal, what else comes through? This is a valid fear. The astral plane is filled with debris, with lost signals, with the Archons we just discussed. If you open a door in a dark house, anything can walk in. But the secret name of the monad is not just a key. It is also a fire. When you speak these vowels correctly, you are not just opening a door. You are turning on the light. Darkness cannot enter a room that is filled with light. It can only flee. The entities that feed on fear are allergic to the frequency of the source. They cannot exist in its presence any more than a shadow can exist on the surface of the sun. However, the danger is not what comes in. The danger is what you refuse to let out. If you speak this name while holding on to hatred or victimhood, or the belief that you are powerless, the frequency will clash with your internal state. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel like putting 220 volts of electricity into a 110-volt wire. You might feel dizzy, nauseous, or suddenly angry. This is why the Gnostics insisted on the tuning. You must act as a clean vessel. You don't need to be a saint. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to pause the story that you are a victim. Imagine your spine as a hollow reed. Right now, it is clogged with the mud of daily life, opinions, news, stress. The vowels are the water that rushes through to clear the mud. But you must allow the clearing. So the protocol is this: do not speak the name to get something. Speak the name to become something. If your intention is pure recognition of your divine origin, you are untouchable. No Archon, no demon, no negative thought form can cross the threshold of a human being who knows they are the monad. Now that you understand the shield, you are ready for the sword. The Council of Nicaea didn't just choose which books to include in the Bible. They chose which reality to enforce. They deleted any text that gave you direct access to the source without a priest. But they couldn't delete the vibration. In the Pistis Sophia, hidden for 600 years, the code remains. It is the secret name of God. But do not expect a word like Yahweh or Allah. The monad does not have a name that requires a tongue to stop and start. The monad is continuous. Therefore, its name is a sequence of pure vowels. Consonants are stops. They break the breath. They are the sounds of the material world. Hard, defined, finite. Vowels are the sounds of the spirit. Open, flowing, infinite. The name is a ladder of 7 sounds. Do not worry about the Greek names. Focus entirely on the vibration. It is spoken in a single unbroken exhalation, rising from your belly to your throat.
Ah, A, E, I, O, U, O.
But sound alone is just noise. To turn the sound into a key, you need the 3 internal locks to open simultaneously. Lock 1, the identity shift. Before you take the breath, drop the human mask. You are not your name. You are not your history or your trauma. You must hold the absolute conviction that you are a fragment of the monad consciousness. You are the ocean poured into a drop. If you speak as a human, the door stays shut. If you speak as the source recognizing itself, the door dissolves. Lock 2. Authority of ownership. Remove the question mark from your vibration. You are not asking for permission to enter. You are unlocking your own house. The frequency must be authoritative, calm, and absolute. It's the difference between a stranger knocking and the owner turning the key. Lock 3. The unbroken thread. The monad is one. It is undivided. Therefore, the name must be spoken in one continuous breath. No pauses. You slide from one sound to the next, creating a single ribbon of frequency connecting your spine to your crown. Tonight, in the dark, verify your nature. Inhale the chaos of the world, and on the exhale, vibrate this sequence. Pay attention to the center of your chest. The Gnostics called it the bridal chamber, the place where spirit meets matter. You will feel a heat there, a pressure. That is the pilot light of your divine spark igniting. The Archons will try to distract you. Your phone will buzz. A sudden worry will pop into your head. A wave of fatigue will hit you. Ignore it. That is the system trying to patch the firewall. When you finish the 7th vowel, do not expect fireworks. Expect silence. The ancient texts say that when a pneumatic speaks the name correctly, the immediate effect is a feeling of thinness. The air in the room will feel less dense. Colors may seem sharper, as if someone adjusted the contrast on your monitor. You might feel a pressure between your eyes or a sudden heat in your hands. These are not hallucinations. These are symptoms of a firewall breach. You have just alerted the system that you are awake. In the days that follow, watch the synchronicities. The matrix operates on predictability, but the monad operates on flow. You will think of a person, and they will call. A problem that has plagued you for months will suddenly resolve itself effortlessly. But be warned, the system will push back. Tonight, or perhaps tomorrow, a thought will whisper to you. It will say, "That was silly. Nothing happened. You are just imagining things." Do not fight that thought. Recognize it. That is the immune system of the matrix, trying to lower your frequency back to safe levels. The moment you hear that doubt, smile at it. Its presence proves you succeeded. You are now a lighthouse in a storm of static. If you felt the shift during this transmission, do not keep it to yourself. The algorithm suppresses this information because it breaks the programming. We need to signal the other chosen ones. Scroll down right now and declare your status. Comment, "The portal is open, I am listening." Leave a like on this video to clear the path for the others who are still searching in the dark. Help them find the key. Tonight, as you lay your head down, repeat this final seal 3 times, not as a prayer, but as a fact. I am not the container. I am the content. I am the monad remembering itself. The name is spoken. The portal is open. Walk through it. We are watching. We are waiting.